Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, welcome, I'm Stefania. Today I'm gonna do a little flip through of my reading journal and I'm gonna show you all the pages that I've created in August. I have both of my notebooks because my yearly pages are still in my previous notebook while August is in my new one, so we're gonna go through the first one and then I'm gonna move to the monthly pages. In case you want to know what I do every single month to update all of these pages, I've just released a new video in which I just do this. Basically, I update my yearly pages with all the books that I read in August. So if you want, go and check out that video because you can see what I do pretty much every single month. The first thing is my lovely little library, if you want to call it this way. I really like how it's turning out, and I think that I would have loved a little bit more if these colors would have been more closer to the others, because I'm obsessed with brown this year, and now seeing them all together, I'm gonna say it. This color, I don't like it that much, at least not next to this, for example, which I'm absolutely obsessed with. Anyway, I've added the books that I read in August, and so far it looks great. I hope to be able to fill in more books before the end of the year. I know I'm gonna do it, but I don't know if I'm gonna color all the books that are here. Then it's time to check out my book log, which I've updated with the books of August, and I think this is quite crazy to look at it, but since the end of June, I've only read physical books and not a single ebook. And this is because for the very first time in my life I have a physical TBR that's looking at me, because I've always been the person who was just buying a book or two together, and then once I was done with them I was buying a new one. I was never buying multiple books together and then buying more books while I still had the previous ones to finish. But this year there were a few discounts, and let's say I quite of abused of them, and so the result is that TBR has been looking at me, and I'm almost over with it. I'm currently reading a book and then I have one more and then I'll be done with it, but I already know I'm gonna have a new TBR pretty soon, because with my birthday coming, it's gonna happen, I already know it. Anyway, let's move to the reading tracker. And again, August is all filled in, which is amazing because this means that I read each single day. And I can also say that I've read a lot of pages because the only month in which I've read more pages compared with August is January. So this is amazing. Books of 2023. Here there are the books I read, and you can see that basically I read a book and then I just jumped into a whole series and I finished it. And I'm gonna talk about them a little bit later. And I still have enough space for the next few months, I'm pretty sure. Pick one. My favorite book for August was Prima, regola, innamorarsi by an Italian author. I loved it. I mean, 5 stars, so super loved it. And here there is the title for this month, and at the end of the year I'm gonna do this little battle, even if by looking at it I already know, for example, which one is gonna win here, and I'm gonna wait and see by the end of the year. I don't know if I'm gonna do this in a video or not, because for some books I already have a clear idea about who's gonna win, for others not yet. Favorite books, as I just said, this was a 5 stars, so I've added one more 5 stars in this page. I am extremely picky with my 5 stars. I think I've said this multiple times. I mean, with August, there are not even 10 books, like 7 books. Basically, it's like not even a book for a month with 5 stars, like 8 months and just 7 books with 5 stars, and this is quite sad. I feel like for me 5 stars have to mean something deeper. That's just who I am. That's why I'm so picky. Monthly reads, I've just updated here all the books. Series Dracula, I've added Stalking Jack the Ripper because it's the one that I've started and finished. And the reason why I've done this is because with the discount I just talked about when they were going on, let's say it in this way, I've decided to buy the whole series all together because with the discount it was definitely a good idea. And it's a series that has been like calling me for months and months. And so when I saw that they were getting sale with this discount, I was like, okay, I can't let it go. And this is it. I think that before the end of the year, I will be able to color also the second one of the Book of Tea, because the second one is finally coming out also in Italy. And luckily, they've done the smart choice of doing the second one according to the first one, so with all the wonderful edges. And that is the reason why I can't read the second one in English while I have physically a copy of the first one in Italian. My brain can't take it. Having the first book in Italian, the second one in English, no. It's a big no for my brain. As you can see, I'm only missing 4 in my bingo, and here is the thing. I'm pretty sure that these are the next 2 that I'm gonna color, because this year will probably be colored with December and not earlier. 50 books and a book that's, let's say, going crazy on social media. Goodreads challenge. With August, I've reached 40 books and my goal is 60. Which means that I'm still missing 20 books, but while I'm currently recording this video, I have read a few more books, so I think I'm quite on track with it. I'm gonna wait and see how it's gonna go. And of course, I've colored them according to the month that was August. Rainbow challenge. For this that are new and that I've never seen a flip through of mine before, this is a challenge that I started thinking was a nice idea, and then I forgot about it with, basically with February. I think that maybe I'm gonna look at it and fill in with the books probably in December. Like, I'll go look in my previous spread where I have all the cover and see if I can put something here. Forgot about it. And I don't think I'm gonna create it again next year because sadly this is the end. Un anno in rosa challenge. For August, the theme was romance with spicy. Little thing about this book, you can see it here because I started it in August and I finished it on the 1st of September, like early morning. And that is the reason why you will not see it in any other spread, because this will count as September, but it was my angel for August. So that's why it's here. This challenge, I think it's crystal clear by now that I will never finish it. It's crazy because I keep on getting titles and authors with the same letter. It's crazy. It's just insane. But who knows, maybe some miracle is gonna happen. Here, I don't know. I think I've updated something here, but I can't remember it. Yes. A book set on a bath, and that's it. I don't know, the others, I'm pretty sure that maybe I've done something. I really have to take my time and look at this and update them. The thing is that next year, if I want to do something like joining challenges like this again, I should like start before January, so already in December when they are out, look at them and create a list for each single prompt and be like, okay, for this one I could read one of these books, so that I have an idea. And while searching for something that could fit with the challenge, also looking for books that I would actually love to read, because I have done nothing of it this year, and now I'm like looking at this and I'm like, oh, okay, wonderful, but I have no idea. And that's it, I'll say it. Genres, I've updated it. Don't ask me what I had it and what I haven't, because I don't fully remember, but this is how it looks like with August. Reading stats. In August I read 5 books, 0 books, 5 physical books. I read 2,563 pages. Days, 31. Super proud of myself. 0 book in English and 5 in Italian, and then the stars I gave to the books. Now I think we can move to the monthly pages. And as always, you can find a Plan With Me video online, and for August you can also find another video in which I'm updating these few spreads, so the monthly spreads, because I thought it was nice to show you what I was doing with them, because I think I've never said it before, like I've said actually in that video, I update these pages once a month, like the month is over, okay, I can look at them and update them. That's what I do with my monthly spreads. It's not that I hop into this one every single day to film in all the spreads. I keep track of everything on my phone and then I just work on the pages. Cover page, I don't think there is anything else to say because these are the same stats that I've just talked about. If my favorite one was Prima, regola, innamorarsi, while the worst one for me for this month was Stalking Jack the Ripper, the first one, because it's one that I enjoyed the less, I would say. August, as you can see, it's full of colors and I love it, and I've also started that book that then, as I've said, I finished it in September, but it was in my previous challenge, but you will not see it in here. Reading tracker, I've read each single day, so I'm extremely happy and proud of myself for that. And as you can see, there are several days in which I've read more than 100 pages, which is wonderful. I wasn't expecting it because August for me is just like July and also, let's say, a big part of September. It's crazy talking about work, and so I didn't have so much free time, and I was expecting to read definitely not this much. Nope. And as you can see, another important thing that I've noticed is that I've never read less than 37 pages. Amazing, proud of myself. Books of August, I've just added here the 5 books. And then we're gonna start with my spreads that I've created for the books. As always, I'm not gonna talk too much about the books. I don't want to give details about them because I don't want to give any spoilers, and I've learned one thing throughout this past few months, actually it has been over a year by now, is that when I try to talk about the book without giving spoiler, the result is that I talk and then I edit so much out of the video because it's all a spoiler. A big spoiler about the whole thing. I'm just not able to do it. So I'm just gonna try to talk a little bit about them, but without giving spoiler, I'm gonna try to explain what I've enjoyed and what I haven't. This is a book that got my favorite book of the month and a 5 stars, which is amazing. Prima, regola, innamorarsi. I don't think there is the English version because I think it's only out in Italian, but I absolutely loved it. I loved the characters, the story, the fact that there was this mystery into it was even, I would say, was something that kept you really attached to the pages. And another thing that I've really enjoyed is the fact that we saw a little bit of the past of these 2 characters, but not in a boring way, but to understand them a little bit more, to get to see what it was like for them and why they become who they actually are. And I definitely loved it. It was a lovely read and I for sure enjoyed it. And then I've started Stalking Jack the Ripper, the whole series. I don't know how to talk about these books without giving spoilers about the previously books, if it makes sense. But here is the thing. I was expecting something more from this one. Absolutely yes, especially the first one. I was a little bit disappointed because there is this mystery. You want to understand who is Jack the Ripper. You want to see the main character understanding everything and finding the solution to the case and all. But it's not that book that keep you attached to the pages. Like I was expecting something different, something more. And the biggest problem that I had, not only with the first, but also with the next books, was the writing style. It's definitely not something that I thought could be a problem for me, but it is. There is something in the writing that, I don't know, I just don't like it. I don't know if it's the Italian version, so if while they translated it something happened, but there is still something that's let's say that at the end of this series I've decided to let's say goodbye to this author and just move to somebody else, and I don't think I'm gonna read anything else by her because I just don't like her writing style. Anyway, it was a 3 star, so it wasn't that bad, but I was definitely expecting more. Then I started the second one, and here again the problem with the writing is still here, but there's one thing that really bothered me so much, and is the fact that while you're reading there are some parts in another language, because of course they're in Romania and they're expecting to talk their language, not English. And so I don't get why in the middle of the sentences there are the sentences in that language and then they are translated. That was like constantly stopping me. I was reaching the point, reading the translation. It was very, let's say it was a big problem for me because there was no reason to do it. I think it's crystal clear. It's just like when I'm reading a book, like the first one was in London, I was expecting the main characters, of course, to speak in English. But since the book has been translated in Italian, I was reading it in Italian, also what they were saying. So I don't get why here we had to just put the sentence and the translated one next to it. Just don't do it, because it was like something that was stopping me, and I didn't really like it. But it was definitely a bit better than the first one, and this made me move straight to the third one, which I definitely enjoyed a little bit more. There was a little bit more mystery, and the thing that I loved about this whole series is how, in a way or in another, the books are connected one to another. Like the main character, she's going through something and she's trying to face it, but at the same time while she's doing it, she's not leaving anything behind. So if you think of reading this series and skip something, you can't do it. You just can't, trust me. You have to read all the 4 books and that's it. I would say that in this case it was more enjoyable the fact that they were on a boat, like they couldn't escape. And this for sure made sure that the book was a little bit, let's say, faster, so it was, let's say, keeping you a little bit more good to the page, but not too crazy. Anyway, I've enjoyed it more than the previous one. I loved seeing some new characters here, but at the same time, I've also enjoyed the whole, let's say, everything that was going on in Odura's mind, because you feel it, but most of all, you start seeing things in a different way. And I was like, okay, but she's feeling like this because what she went through in the past is coming back in their mind again, or she's actually right. Like, I can't tell you exactly what I'm wanna say because it's a huge spoiler, but yeah, I loved it more than the previous 2. And then I finished the month with the last book of this series, and I would say that the last one was the one I've enjoyed the most. It was definitely better compared to the previous one. The writing problem is still here, but I would say I quite of got used to it because I went straight from a book to the other without reading anything else by anybody else, and probably my brain quite got used to it, but however, I'm still not enjoying it. Why I love this one so much is, first of all, as I said before, there's no skipping in this series. If you haven't read the previously books, you will not get everything here. You will get basically nothing at all. I'm sorry. The plot twist at the beginning between Audrey Rose and Thomas, I wasn't expecting it, no. And another thing that I loved is that with the fourth book, we actually can say that their journey is over. I mean, for us as readers. But I love it because from the first book till the last one, we saw them growing as characters, as human beings. Audrey Rose for sure isn't the same girl as she was in the first book, and the same is for Thomas. But the thing that I love the most is that there is this growing process that you can see through the books. But the enjoyable part of it is the fact that we're not talking about books that have gaps in between. Like where one book finishes, the next one starts. There's not, a break in which, the first one finished and then the second one starts a few months after and so goes on. No, they really basically, where one finishes, the next one starts. And so there's not a big gap between one book and the other, and the characters are actually growing a lot in, let's say, a little bit of time, not that much, because from the first book till the last one, it hasn't been years and years and years. So I definitely enjoyed this part. So this is basically what I've read in August. I was wondering, have you read any of this book? If yes, which one? Did you like them or no? Or maybe are you planning on reading them? Let me know it with a comment, because I always want to know what you've read. So maybe I'm gonna find more books to read for my own self. And as always, thank you so much for watching this video and for your support. If you enjoyed it, remember to give it a thumb up and to subscribe for more videos. See you next time. Bye!